What's up, everybody? This is Forgo, and today we're going to do a double whammy with these two behemoth characters, Sentry and Moonstone. And we're going to do it with these crappy builds that I have on both these characters. But not only are we going to do it with these crappy builds, but we're also not going to use any support. We're not going to use any leaderships other than kind of the leadership that Sentry has for himself. But that is about it, just to see how strong these characters are, because these two really are just massively overpowered, especially Moonstone in PvE and Sentry in PvP. Although he is amazing in PvE, Moonstone definitely takes the cake. So as far as Moonstone, you guys know what the build looks like. You know, she has 31,000 energy attack. She has max attack speed, 30 crit rate, 178 critical damage, max ignore defense, max skill cooldown. Just kind of quickly run through this. She has no Urus, level 25 gears. She has no, all of her skills are at 6. She has a stage 7 power rating rock set, and she has this nice little 120% proc with critical damage. Pretty much nothing, the bare minimum. Sentry, however, has 35,200 energy attack. He has more energy attack than her. He has 127 attack speed, 28 crit rate, 180 critical damage, 47% ignore defense, so not even max ignore defense. He has max skill cooldown. Actually, this kind of hurts him a little bit as far as the damage, but not a tremendous amount. He has no Urus, level 15 gears, and all of his skills are at 6. And he has a stage 6 power rating rock set. So both these builds are pretty similar, although Sentry definitely got the weaker end of the deal because Moonstone's gears are at least at 25, whereas his are only at 15. And then we have 120% proc. So the same proc on both of these characters. And I'm not trying to compare them as far as their damage. We all know Moonstone's going to be stronger. But I was just curious to see how well Sentry do. Now, Sentry does have this leadership applies all allies activation rate when debuffed. So he only gets this 30% increase of all attack when he's debuffed, which does happen against Galactus, but not a whole lot. So he's pretty much not going to have a leadership for the most part throughout the entire fight. But both of these characters have something a couple things similar in common. They're both super damn strong. They're both associated with the Dark Avenger update, obviously. And they both have cancelable skills that you can cancel immediately to get damage from all of those skills at once. Now, Sentry's got this crazy 50% all attack buff and 50% crit rate buff. That is nuts. That is nuts. He's got the damage accumulation based on how much damage you deal, which is crazy. So damage accumulation, massive attack buffs. His tier 3 also has a freaking increase all attack by 50% that lasts for 20 seconds. So this is pretty much up all the time after you do your tier 3. The all defense down won't apply against Galactus. So you just get to see their raw damage. And Moonstone, her awakened skill does have all defense down, just like Sentry's tier 3 skill. But again, they're not benefiting from that against Galactus. She does get the increased 70% for one attack, which really helps, especially when you're playing with a proc. That means it won't get canceled. And she just also has this insane setup where she gets this 40% attack buff, 40% crit rate buff. She gets the damage accumulation based on the damage you deal. Notice a little something in common here. Both have damage accumulation. Both have massive attack buff and crit rate buffs. She also gets this increased damage by 50% for one attack, and the increase by 70% on her awakened skill all at once. And she gets the damage received increased by 20% for 4 seconds. Just nuts. And then the third skill gives her more attack. Just crazy. So you can obviously see that Moonstone is really built more for PvE, especially the way she's designed. Whereas, Sentry, he's designed really more for PvP, although in PvE, he is still ridiculous. So let's jump into the action and let's rock and roll. So we're just going to be using Moonstone in leadership, and we got a pretty OP team that we're going to be playing with here. There's Sharon Rogers with Nick Fury and Shuri. So yeah, they're pretty much going to destroy us, but we just want to see how much damage we're going to do. Now I know some of you, you prefer if I have a really strong build and we have supports to really see how fast we can murder a stage. But I really just like seeing what characters can do with just crappy builds. With no supports, nothing, then you really see their true power for the most part. You really get to see how strong they are, especially like newer players or players that haven't played very long. they get to see, it's like, damn, man, this character can put out some serious damage with nothing. With nothing. And that really makes all the difference to me as far as these kinds of showcases. Of course, in the future, if you guys want to see her do crazy clear, we'll go, use crazy supports. We can definitely do that. I could give Moonstone Norman's leadership and then use some kind of damage dealt to supervillain support. And then she could really murder, give her a better proc, give her some Urus, and all that good stuff. And the same goes for Sentry. But, man, guys, look at her. When she hits that awakened skill, them bars start going off. That was from her. That wasn't from Shirag. When Shirag does it. When she hits that tier 3, them bars go like a machine gun going bye-bye. Yeah, look at that. Yeah, look at that. Yeah, see what I'm talking about? That was Shirag. That was Shirag. Pick up all these. Okay. And unfortunately, I couldn't really get a hold of any of my teammates or anybody to play with me. This was kind of a last minute thing. I tried contacting them. That way we could see just how far these characters could go with just by themselves with no support. But since I couldn't, I had to play with public, just whatever random players. Unfortunately, they were bringing in some OP characters. But we still get to see how much damage these characters do. Oh, come on now. Come on now. And that's another reason that I mixed both of these fights in one video. Because really they're kind of short. That was a 3-minute battle. Pretty quick. Obviously, Shirag, 75% of the damage. Surprised she didn't do more. But we did 24% of the damage in 2 minutes. With the build that we have, guys. With no leadership and no support. That means that this character with this build could probably, if you could collect all the heals from Galactus, could probably solo this with no support with this build. Wow. That is bunko. Now let's move on to Sentry. Okay, so we're just using Sentry's leadership again. And he's not going to really benefit from unless he gets debuffed. And then we are playing with a Captain Marvel with 2 supports and a Shirag with She-Hulk and White Fox. So we all know that Sharon's probably going to do most of the damage, just like what happened in the run a while ago. And again, because I'm just not using supports, I just want to see how strong these characters are. And really, the fact that Sentry just has level 15 gears and no Urus with 120% proc really is bonkers. I mean, he's just so easy to land the proc. Unfortunately, my proc came very, very late. Usually when you hit the 2 to get the damage accumulation and the 5 and the 4, you want that proc to trigger when he rises up from the 4 as he's hitting the tier 3. But didn't really work out because it came so late. But his movement speed is bonko. Dunk. Dunk, dunk, dunk. Easy peasy with this guy. Whoa, whoa. Watch out. Let's go. Oh, that little bastard. Look at that. That was weird. Okay. Okay, whatever. We'll just wait. Our tier 3 is pretty much ready to go. Collect these heals. Another thing about, playing with players that, aren't your teammates, you find that you definitely play with people that don't really know how to play that well. They definitely do not know that when you... Like, look, Sharon's enchanted right now. Why isn't she running into him? She isn't. So Galactus didn't get knocked down. We couldn't do tons of damage to him. And look, that was kind of sucked, actually. That kind of sucked. Real bummer, man. Real bummer. There we go. Ooh, that's Sharon right there. That's Sharon. Big time. But the good thing for all of you is if you are using Sentry and if you are using Moonstone, right, and you don't have any supports available to you, you could come in here and all you need is one good team and you're pretty much good to go. I mean, seriously, you're pretty much good to go. My proc triggered on the four skills, so I didn't use my tier 3 just now. Now we are going to use it. Oh yeah, and it triggered right at the beginning. I mean, Sentry, look, he does some really good damage. Seriously. He does some good damage when you land that tier 3 right, even with this crappy proc. Not bad at all. Whoa! Well, that wasn't very smart. I just ran right into that raid. Good thing we got a revive. That sucked. I can't believe I did that. Wow. Come on, come on. Let's pour it on. Build up our tier 3. But it is fun. I mean, I do enjoy playing Galactus. I don't do it as much as I should, but I do enjoy playing this game mode. It is fun. I really wish that one of these days Netmarble would get off their keisters and give us another GBR. But give us one where we get better rewards. I mean, but that's always the problem in Marvel Future Fight. Unfortunately, rewards. Now see guys, that's what you do. You run into Galactus when you get enchanted. That way Galactus falls down and we can do crap tons of damage to him. That's how you do it, my friends. I'm waiting. Okay, he's going to smash. We're going to get him. Another thing about Sentry that's really nice is he has super armor. See, we don't have to worry about getting guard broken whenever he's smashing his hands down, which is nice. That's also nice for PvP too, to be perfectly honest. Not the best, but honestly anymore with the characters like Jean Grey that can actually guard break penetrate you, or even Sentry himself, having immunity guard break really just seems kind of almost irrelevant anymore. I mean, it isn't, but it just kind of seems that way. Especially when you can take a character like Sentry and just come in there and murder everybody. Boom. Now let's see how much damage he did. And of course, Sharon wins again, 65% of the damage. So we did 23% of the damage in 4 minutes. So that means Sentry by himself, at least with this crapola build, could never do this, do a solo. But doesn't mean that he couldn't do it if he was built up. I was just curious to see what he could do with this crappy build. And he actually did really well, to be perfectly honest. I mean, 120% proc, level 15 gears. I mean, no Urus. It's actually pretty damn impressive that he was able to do it. Again, he really didn't benefit from his leadership against Galactus. So let me know what y'all think about these characters with their crappy builds against Galactus. And I hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you for watching. Y'all take care and have a good one.